America's pastime has been a part of the Vegas community for over 40 years. And as our city grew, so did the love of the game. Now, excitement is growing for our next home team. All season long, Fox 5 and the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network are covering athletics baseball on the field, in our community. As we build our future together, America's pastime will soon call the Valley home. Play ball, Las Vegas. This is Covering the Bases with the A's.
Welcome, baseball fans. This is Covering the Bases with the A's, the first ever Vegas show devoted strictly to athletics baseball. Mike Davis here alongside Kevin Bollinger. Kevin, tell us what's on deck.
All right, here's the batting order for today's show. Big man Nick Kurtz turning heads on the field and in the batter's box. Plus, we go inside the clubhouse with A's insider Jess Klein, and a trip to the farm as Mariah Janos gives us a closer look at what's happening with the Aviators in Las Vegas. And later, I'm going one-on-one with A's All-Star Brent Rooker. But first, we need to celebrate the rookie first baseman and his latest honor.
0-1. High in the air to left. This is drawing Langford back. He's still going at the track and at the wall. It creeps over the wall. And Nick Kurtz to the opposite field. A solo home run to left. His 19th of the year.
One day after being named the American League Player of the Week, A's stud rookie first baseman Nick Kurtz goes deep again. His 19th of the year, and the 22-year-old has been on an absolute fire since returning from All-Star break. Check this out. In 3 games versus Cleveland, he hit .583 with 6 extra base hits, including a homer, and he had a .615 on-base percentage with 4 RBI and 4 runs scored. So the A's 4th overall pick in 2024 made some A's history, tallying multiple hits and an extra base hit in 4 consecutive games. He's the first athletics player to do that since Lawrence Butler in July of last season, and the 3rd A's player ever to accomplish that feat at age 22 or younger since Jose Canseco back in 1987 and Jimmy Fox in 1928. So an insane run this kid has been on. Here's Mark Kotze on rookie first baseman Nick Kurtz.
There's only a few guys in the game that can hit oppo homers and know when you get it, you got it, which he did. And when I refer to like a few of those guys, like Barry Bonds, maybe Jim Thome, a couple Hall of Famers. But for Nick, it just continues to impress, just the advancement in such a young player who hadn't got a lot of at-bats at the major league level. To be able to do what he's doing, it's really impressive.
So, Kev, the crazy thing here is for the longest time it really seemed like rookie shortstop Jacob Wilson had AL Rookie of the Year in the bag. But suddenly we have a showdown for Rookie of the Year between Kurtz and Wilson. So first of all, a ridiculously great thing for the A's organization overall. But secondly, do you believe just how much steam Kurtz has really gained in these recent weeks, and who do you think ends up on top?
Well, we've talked a lot about the future on this show, a lot about the young A's roster, and to have 2 favorites for Rookie of the Year is really proof that the future is bright. Jacob Wilson was on everybody's radar coming into the season, but Kurtz is doing it on a stage so soon. That's really kind of the surprise in all of this. When the A's came to Las Vegas for Big League Weekend in mid-March, I was told that Kurtz probably will start in Double-A and then move up to the Aviators sometime during the season. Well, he did so well with the Big League Club during spring training that he started with Triple-A and the Aviators, and then he just destroyed PCL pitching in those first few weeks and essentially forced the A's fan hand to promote him to the show. So since then, of course, we know he hasn't disappointed.
Right.
Kurtz has been really cool to watch. As for who ends up on top, it's going to really come down to health, as it always does, right? Who's going to stay off the injured list is going to have the upper hand in this one.
Okay, all right, so very exciting future for this A's franchise.
And now we have to shift to some disappointing news for 2 other A's rookies. Both Max Muncy and Denzel Clark have been placed on the 10-day IL. Yes, the stud center fielder, best known for making a name for himself with those highlight reel catches, dealing with an adductor strain. Manager Mark Kotze said that he's likely to miss 2 weeks.
Yeah, and the rookie 3rd baseman we got to know well here last week on Covering the Bases thanks to Kevin. He's now out due to that pitch that was hitting his right hand right there on Monday night's opener with the Rangers. The initial scan of his hand showed a fracture in his fourth metacarpal. Now the team is planning to get a second opinion. It looks like Max Muncy is going to miss some major time. So because of those injuries, Colby Thomas is being called back to the bigs. He was with the A's just before the All-Star break and recorded 15 at-bats. Carlos Cortez is also earning the call. He's been really good at the Triple-A level this season, batting .322 with 17 homers and 77 RBI. So with Clark out and Lawrence Butler making a little shift to center, he's stepping up in a big way.
Yeah, take a look at this play.
This ball hit well, deep out to center field. It takes Butler near the wall, and he'll reach up and make the catch.
Yeah, highway robbery. Lawrence Butler filling in at center field for Denzel Clark, making the home run robbery of his own, taking one away from Rangers catcher Kyle Higashioka.
Yeah, Lawrence Butler doing his best Denzel Clark impression. Then the next night, he robs Evan Carter of a base hit with this diving catch in center as well. So Butler doing everything he can to make sure the A's really don't feel the loss of Denzel Clark too much on the defensive side of things. So now you love to see players stepping up, playing out of position. To me, Kevin, what this really demonstrates is two guys down, having to shift positions, making plays at those different spots. It just proves that this team has the character and the depth to really, go forward and do some special things. What does it tell you?
Yeah, versatility is the word, right? Obviously, you expect your outfielders to be able to shift around as needed, but we've also seen guys like Tyler Soderstrom learn two new positions. Initially moving from catcher to first base, and then with the emergence of Nick Kurtz, he had to shift to left field this year. You have an infielder who can maneuver around, like Max Muncy and the other infielders. That allows manager Mark Kotsay to move the pieces on the chessboard, whether it's because of an injury situation or maybe to give somebody a day off. It's a luxury to have those types of players who can do multiple things and do them well on top of that, and that's exactly what the A's have going right now.
All right, versatility is key. Now, guys, coming up on deck, we're going inside the clubhouse with insider Jess Klein from Kurtz to call-ups. We get the lowdown. And then a trip to the farm. Mariah Janos is talking with the voice of the Aviators, Matt Neverett. That's after the break.
You're watching Covering the Bases with the A's.
All right, so now I am joined by A's insider Jess Klein. Jess, so great to see you. Let's start with this. Nick Kurtz, he's been on a heater just after being AL Rookie of the Week or the month. Now he's AL Player of the Week. So tell us, Nick Kurtz, how surprised are you with all this momentum he's gaining? And now it looks like we have a showdown for AL Rookie of the Year between two A's.
Yeah, let's have some fun, right? Yeah, with Kurtz, there's very little surprise when it comes to him. I am really impressed with the way he's been consistent at the plate, but we knew the power was there, and that's what ultimately got him the call-up. And really, his advanced approach at the plate, especially for a 22-year-old, is what made him stand out, which is why the A's grabbed him so quickly. But you mentioned those numbers, 359 average in his last 22 games. So that's saying something. And I feel like from that perspective, when we're looking at the overall aspect of a possible AL Rookie of the Year, I guess, showdown between two teammates, it just kind of adds to the competition. And his defense is still getting better as well. So once that kind of those fine-tuned things happen, he's going to be one of the best players in the league.
It's such a special thing, and what a wonderful thing for the organization. Now, of course, some negative news with two rookies. Muncy and Clark both go on the 10-day IL, but they're calling up Colby and Carlos. Tell us a little bit about those two guys and what they're going to bring to the A's.
I mean, Colby Thomas is an athlete. He has a football background. I've talked to him a little bit about it, and that's why he's so electric in the outfield. And of course, he previously made his major league debut and had a fantastic start. He's probably going to play a little bit of left and center field and actually probably get more starting time, more playing time than he did in his first stint with the team. And Carlos, I mean, this is a really exciting story. He got drafted by the Mets in 2018, and he's going to be a left-handed bat coming off the bench and probably some starts against some righties. So it's going to be a fun little little situation, but I will say with Colby Thomas, he's not getting enough recognition as he actually deserves. And I think when the back kind of heats up a little bit, it'll be better. But like you mentioned, Denzel Clark, that right adductor strain, that's 2 Ds adductor. He's going to be out for a while. We can't 100% say a timeline, but Mark Kotze, A's manager, did say maybe about 2 weeks. And of course, for Muncy, when you have a hand fracture, that's really, we're not sure how that's going to turn out. Because let's be honest, a broken bone, that can take some time.
All right, good insight there. Thanks so much. When it comes to the A's, the Athletics, everything A's, she's the #1 insider you want to hear from. So thanks so much, Jess.
Thanks for having me.
This season has truly been a tale of two halves for the Las Vegas Aviators. After dominating the first half, averaging a run differential above 100, Vegas now finds themselves 5 games back with a differential of -13. Now here's the thing, when the second half of the AAA season gets underway, the first half record gets wiped clean and these teams are essentially starting over from zero, which is why the Aviators dropped in the standings rather quickly. Now the good news is the hard part is taken care of for the Aviators, clinching a playoff spot after winning the first half. And this second half has just been a demonstration of the rest of the PCL catching up to Vegas's ways.
The rest of the league starting to kind of figure out what it's like to play in the Pacific Coast League, such an offensive-friendly environment historically. And in places like Reno, places like El Paso, even places like Albuquerque, where the elevation is huge and makes a big impact, some of these teams and some of these players especially who have been in these places all year are starting to figure out, hey, I'm at 7,000 feet elevation here in New Mexico. So if I hit this ball up in the air with some decent pop, it's going to go more often than not. So you're seeing some guys kind of start to figure it out. And for the Aviators who have already clinched a first half championship, giving them a right to host the PCL Championship Series, the second half, not as important. It is important to go into that championship series with a little bit of momentum if you can help it. But for Las Vegas, it's just kind of about maintaining that state of homeostasis, so to speak, just kind of grinding along until the end of the season when they'll get to host that 3-game series.
So you heard the man. Slow and steady to close this thing out is all the Aviators need to do. And before we know it, it'll be time to compete for that PCL championship. The Aviators are currently on the road in Sacramento for a 6-game series. They're back at Las Vegas Ballpark on July 29th.
Okay, coming up, Kevin has an exclusive interview with All-Star Brent Rooker.
And hey, before we hit the break, let's get in some trivia. We're going back to 1927 for this one. That's where we left off in last week's Green and Gold throwback. The A's had stars everywhere, but how many future Hall of Famers were on that 27 team? Was it 2, 4, 5, or 7? We're going to find out after the break.
You're watching Covering the Bases with the A's.
All right, we're back and we've got the answer to the question, how many MLB Hall of Famers were on the 1927 Athletics? The answer is 7. Yeah, that's the most of any single team outside of the Yankees in baseball history. That's pretty impressive. So 4 of them were just starting their primes. That's these guys. They would help the A's win a ton of games over the next few years. And hey, you won't have to wait very long to meet them. That's because we're going to talk about them in our Green and Gold throwback here. Now, when you think of the greatest teams in baseball history, the conversation usually starts with maybe Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig. Those Yankees had a lineup so good, they were known as Murderers Row, literally. In this week's Green and Gold throwback, though, we're going to meet the team that's looking to knock off this juggernaut.
The 1929 baseball season started with a dragon to slay. The New York Yankees were coming off 2 straight World Series wins, both of them sweeps. But the A's were hot on their tail. They got a breakout season from 21-year-old Jimmy Fox, who was so strong, one Hall of Fame opposing pitcher said he had muscles in his hair. Fox hit more than 30 home runs for the first of 12 consecutive seasons, powering the A's right past the Yankees, setting a franchise record by winning 104 games and winning the pennant by 18 games. They drew the Chicago Cubs in the World Series, who featured 4 future Hall of Famers in their lineup. Since they all hit right-handed, A's manager Connie Mack made an interesting call, sitting his best pitcher, Lefty Grove, since righties hit him better. It worked for the first couple games in Chicago, with the A's only giving up 4 runs total, winning both games. President Hoover was in attendance for Game 3, which the Cubs won. And then in Game 4, the A's fell behind 8-0 by the 7th inning, only to score 10 runs in the bottom of the 7th, enough to win the game. That's still the biggest rally in a postseason game ever. Next game, with fans packing the rooftops across from the stadium for $5 a pop, the A's found themselves down again, late, this time 2-0 in the bottom of the 9th. But they rallied again and won on a walk-off double by Bing Miller, winning the World Series 4-1, the 4th in team history.
And just a few weeks after the A's wrapped up that win was the famous stock market crash of October of '29. But could the A's avoid a crash of their own on their way to defending their title? We're going to find out next week on Green and Gold Throwback.
And into the All-Star game, being in that swing off.
He hits that one high to left and deep and very well and gone.
There it is, Brent Rooker's 100th career home run going deep on July 18th in Cleveland. It was his 90th career homer as an Athletic, and all followed what was a standout performance in front of a national audience at the MLB All-Star Game. Now, Brent Rooker is now focused on the second half of the season. Even though he's only 30 years old, Rooker is one of the older players on this A's team, and he's ready to lead the A's into a championship caliber team.
Fastball is hit hard in the air to left center field. Back goes Stowers. It is gone. Rooker with 20 during the regular season and a 3-run shot that started his comeback.
Anybody who didn't already know the name Brent Rooker, they certainly found out what he could do during the All-Star festivities. A 3-run blast to help propel the American League's comeback bid.
There's a shot to left field, and there is the first home run. That's huge.
And 2 home runs in his 3 swings in the extra inning swing-off. The A's certainly saw what they had in the 2-time All-Star when they claimed him off waivers from Kansas City back in November of 2022. Rooker's bat and leadership led the Athletics to sign him to a 5-year, $60 million deal in January.
It was exciting for me. It meant a lot that the organization and management and ownership was willing to put that kind of confidence in me to be here for the foreseeable future, obviously, for the next 5, hopefully 6 years. It's exciting to know that we have a group together right now that we think can do some pretty special things, and we're going to be together for for an extended period of time.
He hits that one high to left and deep and very well and gone.
Rooker's 100th career home run. Congratulations to him.
As one of the foundational pieces of the future, Rooker now looks to take a leadership role in a young clubhouse. It's a role that is shared with the rest of the team that he says has built a strong culture.
1-0 from Pepio, a fly ball deep out to left, and Brent Rooker with a home run to give the A's the lead in the first.
That's one of our strengths, I think, is the environment that we create in the clubhouse and in our space, in the weight room, training room, food room, all that kind of stuff, just hanging out with each other, building that culture like you talked about. It's just as important for long-term sustained success as the on-field stuff is. So we think we've done a good job with that. We're going to continue to work at it, and we've got the right group to do it.
Here's the 2-2 to Rooker. Out to left field. This ball going back, and Brent Rooker.
While the team plays in Sacramento, eyes are still on 2028 and the move to Las Vegas.
We're looking forward to getting there. We know the stadium itself is going to be, I think one of the best in the league as soon as it's finished. We were there during spring training and were able to go to a Knights game, so we got the feel of the passion of the fan base there and how much they love their teams and support their teams. So that's going to be an added bonus as well.
But before they get to Southern Nevada, Rooker is hoping to make some more noise, individually and as a club, to help turn this team into a consistent winner, with possibly some more All-Star appearances along the way.
All right, coming up, we're previewing the upcoming series in Houston with the Astros.
Let's go, baby! Wait, let me lace you up.
The A's watch party over at Stadium Swim, a big success, a lot of fun at Circa Resort and Casino. Stay tuned for more watch parties coming as we near 2028.
And A's fans get priority access to purchase season tickets in Las Vegas for just $19.01. Now, current A's season ticket members, Aviators season ticket holders, as well as Clark County residents who secure their spot on the priority access list will receive purchase priority ahead of the general fan. For more information, visit athletics.com/Vegas. Now, as the A's wrap up a disappointing series with the Rangers, they will be staying in Texas, heading straight to Houston for a 4-game series with the AL West leading Astros.
As of taping this show, the Astros have a 5-game lead in first, ahead of the Mariners in the American League West.
Yeah, now of course, when you think of the Astros, you think of Jose Altuve. He's leading the team in hits and RBI, but it's actually shortstop Jeremy Pena leading the team in batting average. Both Pena and Isaac Paredes represented the team at the All-Star Game along with pitchers Hunter Brown and Josh Hader.
And most likely the guys are going to have to face off against Brown in this series. The last time the A's played Houston was back in June. The Athletics split the 4-game series, but of course, if they want to make that move and get to the next level here in the coming years, that's one team that they're going to have to maybe start showing that they can play with and get ahead of them.
100%, a big series and a big opportunity to really gain some traction in that division.
That is a wrap for us here on Covering Bases for this week. For Mike Davis and the rest of our crew, I'm Kevin Bollinger.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great week. Go A's and be good.